My name is Sophia, I'm 19. I'm currently doing an Open University degree in English Literature with creative writing. I live in Rotherham, where I've lived all my life. And I don't really have any direction in life, but I'm hoping I'll figure it out sometime. Hopefully sometime soon, because I'm getting a bit worried about what I'm going to do with my life, but I'm sure it'll all work out. I think I had a nice childhood, even though it didn't seem it to me. I don't know why, but I was a very cynical child. Like, I never wanted to join in with anything that all the other kids did. Like, I'd refuse to do stuff that normally kids would, and I think I was like the weird kid, really. My parents divorced when I was like 10, which I think was pretty big, because it completely changes how your relationship is with them. Like, I didn't live with my dad anymore, and every time my parents were together they'd argue with each other, so I kind of can't have him in the same room now because of everything that went on like 9 years ago. And I think that's sort of changed my life in the way that they'll never be together and we'll never be a family like that. Like, if I got married, well, I'm not going to get married because basically I don't want them in the same room together. And I get really worried that I'm going to die before them, because then they'd have to organise the funeral together, and that would be like difficult, I think. But I think now I worried too much when I was a child about things, and I think I still worry now, probably because of how I was when I was younger. I didn't like school. I didn't like that they'd make us pray and sing hymns, because I wasn't sure I believed in God when I was a child. I didn't like art because I used to get shouted at all the time for doing it wrong. Like in reception class we had to draw a monster. So I did mine all scribbling, because like it was supposed to be scary and ugly. But the teacher didn't get it, and she was just like, that's scribbling. And I was like really annoyed with her because she didn't get it. And I don't know, I think that just made me hate art. But I do like it now, but I can't like just go with it like you can when you're a child. You just do it because it's fun, not to make something. I just get frustrated if I don't do something right. And I always really liked English. I liked writing stories the most, which is, I suppose, why I'm doing my degree now, creative writing, English lit. When I was at school, I was friends with like 3 other girls, and we were like mean girls of our school, really. We were the most popular people there, I suppose, and we'd always start like wars in the playground because we wouldn't let other people play with us and they wanted to. But then when I went to comprehensive school, I wasn't popular anymore. I was the weird kid again, and it was just a difficult age, like when you first start comprehensive school, I think. When you're like 12 and 13, you're always going to be a cunt when you're 12 and 13. And I think I grew up a bit while I was at secondary school, but I still hated it, because I thought everyone there was just immature. But at college was a lot better. Everyone just left everyone else to get on with everyone else, so I could just do what I wanted, really. And I think that was the first time in my life that I've ever been able to just do what I want and dress how I want. I don't have any official hobbies like stamp collecting. I keep a journal and I draw in it, and sometimes I write things, sometimes I just stick things in. And I don't know, I just think it's helpful to like get your thoughts down. I think it's therapeutic to do art. So I also really like learning. I like to study things in my own spare time. Like, I just think of a topic that I don't know anything about and then just like research it. I also really like writing poetry. I think I wrote my first poem when I was a kid, and it was shit, but I think I've improved like now. But I don't really know what you can do with poems, so you can't really publish them anymore. Well, you can, but no one really cares, so I don't really have any skills, to be honest. Like, I'm not really good at anything technical, so I don't know what kind of job I could do. I used to think I was good at science when I was really young, and I'm rubbish at it now. I hate it because I just don't really get it. But for some reason I thought I was really good at it as a child, and I had a chemistry set, but I didn't really know what to do with it, and I didn't want to follow the instructions. I wanted to just mix up all the stuff you got in the test tubes and make something. I don't know what, but I always tried, and I'd make a big mess. I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was a child because we were learning about Egypt, and I thought it was really interesting. And I think it's kind of sad that I don't want to be an archaeologist anymore because I still think it would be a cool job. One of the things I love the most about reading and writing is that it can be something really personal, but if it's well written, people will relate to it. And I think it inspires them as well to sort of express themselves, examine themselves and think about their own feelings. And I think I would like to do that if I could write a novel, or through poems that I write. That's what I aim to do. My favourite books, I like books that make you think about things, books that have a message, something to tell you. I'm currently reading On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I'm sure you know who it is. I'm not really feeling it so far, but I hope it'll get better. This year I'm trying to read 52 books. I've set myself a challenge, and I'm on 19 at the minute, so I hope that I'll be very well read by the end of the year. I'm not really as into music as I used to be. I don't know, when I listen to music now, I'm not really bothered by it. I used to really, really like it, I'd be one of those kids that says stuff like, I can't live without music, music saved my life, and now I'm just yeah, music's good, but whatever. I listen to all kinds of music, really. I like Diane Wood, I like Real Big Fish, I like Rilo Kiley, I like this Swedish band called Saka. I did used to like Kate Nash, and I still sort of like her. But I do like mainstream stuff as well. I think Rihanna's pretty cool, but I just don't listen to it as often. Because as I said, I don't really pay attention to music. I have tried singing myself, even though I don't think I can sing very well. I think that's a lost cause. But I did try, so that's a good thing. The films that I've participated in, that's been cool. It still makes me feel kind of awkward talking into a camera. I like Kevin Smith films. My boyfriend got me into them, and I think they're pretty cool. I like the way they're all linked. It's sort of nice when things are linked up. It just seems tidier. I like that the characters reoccur. And I really like scary films. I like zombie films a lot. I think there should be many, many zombie films. But I want them to focus on people, how people cope with it, and see more emotion instead of here's a zombie and just beating up zombies all the time. I don't really want to see that. I want to see how people cope. If someone in your family turns into a zombie in the films, they just sort of get on with it. But I'd want to actually see people breaking down and what tactics they'd use to survive and everything. Films don't really scare me anymore like they did when I was a kid. I watched The Ring when I was like 7 years old and I had to take the TV out of my room. But films don't really scare me now. I got onto my course by... it was sort of a snap decision. I didn't end up going to university for a catalogue of reasons. But I guess I just wanted to make things happen because I was getting anxious about things not happening. And I guess I was bored as well. I missed learning and getting to study. So I signed up for it, which was a good thing. And the course has been really, really interesting. The one I'm on at the minute is about different kinds of arts, like from opera to plays to like actual pictures art-wise. And the Dalai Lama. I learned the other day how like they pick the Dalai Lama. They don't like choose him, they just go and find him. And it's a lot different from the Pope. That's to do with like smoke and stuff. And they have to vote. But I think it's nice that they find him. I suppose the bad thing about my course is that I'm kind of on my own doing it and I don't really have to go to class or anything. I've just got to get on with myself. I think that might be hard sometimes. But I suppose it's great that you've got all the freedom and I managed to fit in with my life quite well. Like, I spent some time this morning studying. Not very well though. I do have tutorials to like go to every so often, so it's nice to see the other students that are doing the same course as me. I've got one next week on Grandma's birthday. I currently work in a library in a college, so I am quite lucky to be where I am. It's only for a few more months, well, like a year. But I'm hoping that whatever job I get next, like the whole CV thing, what skills you've learned, I think it'll be really useful. I'm currently doing like overtime in accounts, so I'm doing well on that front. I got into it by applying for it. My application was pretty shit, but I got an interview anyway, so I was happy with that. And sometimes it's difficult having to do my work on my own in my spare time when it's taken up by a job, but I do manage it. I think you've just got to get yourself into a routine and you've got to want it enough. If you really want it, you can make yourself do it. I think what I'd really like to do with my life is write novels and poetry and stuff. Probably participate in films like I have done in the past. Maybe write some as well. And I think I would like a proper job on top of that. I'd like to work with young people, like in education. Sort of more of a supportive role, like maybe working with young people with autism, just helping them, sort of just supporting their learning really. I don't know if I'd want to travel like some people do on gap years. Like, I suppose I would, but right now that just seems really far away because I can't afford it and because I'm just tied up, like, with a job and everything. I don't really have freedom now to go off and do what I want, and that is what I'd really like. Like, I suppose you need a lot of money for that though, just to be able to be like, I'm gonna go to another country, and you just go and stay there, and when you get bored you just go somewhere else. I don't like the idea of giving birth, and I don't like the idea of being pregnant, and I don't like the idea of having a cesarean, so I'm out really. I think I'd adopt if I ever do want children. I hope I would, because I don't think it's right that so many kids are like, haven't got a family. But I don't know if like instincts will make me want a kid. I hope not. But I don't think I want to get married either. I don't really see the point.
Any reason why you don't see the point of getting married?
I've been around a lot of divorce, like not just my parents, but my aunt, my uncle, my grandma was divorced before I was even born. So I've always been aware of it, sort of thing. So I think to me, well, my grandma was divorced and then she's got like a life partner who's pretty much my granddad, even though it's not a blood relation. So I suppose I've seen that you don't need to be married to prove anything to anyone. I think I'd only get married for like, if there was like financial benefits. I think there are financial benefits, aren't there? Maybe. But that's the only reason I get